Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about American fireflies. Fireflies are supposed to be flies that lights up, right? I've never seen anything like that in my life, so this should be a very, very fun video. Welcome to the channel. I'm glad to have you guys here. Let's get right into it.
I found one right there, just hanging out. But I don't know if it's nervous.
I'm Lawrence, and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to insects, specifically insects that glow in the dark.
Here in the Midwest, there is a type of winged insect that during my first American summer...
It seems all the nice things are in the Midwest. The cities are kind of boring with, the Midwest is where all the nice things and all the scary things are happening. The tornadoes, hurricanes, and nice things like this.
I caused my eyes to do this, and my mouth to do likewise.
Oh, I'll fall into... What the heck was that? I asked my American wife. Oh, just a lightning bug, she said nonchalantly, as if she'd witnessed this act of sheer sorcery so many times it had now become old hat. I see, said I. So do all of your insects just flash on and off for no reason? It was only later, after being treated to more of this unrelenting witchcraft, that I realised there was in fact a very good reason for it. And before I get into all that, if you're new to my channel and haven't had a chance to subscribe, do that now.
As long as I live, I'll forever associate Midwestern summer evenings with the sound of crickets and the bioluminescence of lightning bugs. But what if I told you that both phenomena exist not to grab the attention of humans, but that of a fellow mate?
Of course, when I say mate, I don't mean that in the British sense of friend.
Yeah.
I mean a partner with whom you can...
I actually thought as much too. I mean, most animals, most of the time, if they have this kind of characteristics, it's always for mating.
Perform a bit of how's your father. Of course, when I say mate, I don't mean that in the British sense of friend. I mean a partner with whom you can perform a bit of how's your father.
Just as male crickets stridulate to win the affection of female crickets, male lightning bugs flash brightly to let the ladies know they be single. If she likes what she sees, the female will send a flash back, sort of like the insect equivalent of swiping right. When it comes to the Photinus piralis, America's common eastern lightning bug, the female will often hold conversations with several males in a single evening, leading the latter group to get jealous and beat each other up. But during courtship, the male and female continue to twinkle at each other until they meet, fall in love, and produce up to 500 eggs. Sorry for going high-pitched.
So now, whenever I see these dazzling creatures waltzing in the nighttime air, I feel both honoured and ever so slightly violated. But the US is a huge place. Not everywhere in this giant land experiences the same density of lightning bugs.
Though there are plenty of them here in the Midwest, there's an even higher concentration of them in the South, while the West Coast barely has them at all. In fact, to the extent that they are found out west, Americans can't seem to decide what to call them. In the West and upper Midwest, lightning bug usually becomes firefly, which makes you wonder, do people in my neck of the woods refer to Firefly the TV show as lightning bug?
So far in this video, I might have given you the impression that we don't have fireflies in Britain. But it turns out, much to my own surprise, we do, sort of.
There is a species in Britain and throughout much of Europe called the common glowworm that, for all intents and purposes, is the same f***ing thing.
It's tiny, only comes out at night and flashes in the dark when it wants some hanky-panky, and yes, I'm still talking about glowworms. The thing is, they must be much harder to track down back home because, like most Brits, I never actually saw one with my own eyeballs.
But that's okay, because Britain has hedgehogs and America doesn't, so we're even.
Anyway, at this point in the video, I'd like to address the elephant in the room, which is this. Whether we call them lightning bugs, fireflies, or glowworms, each and every one of us is completely and utterly a little bit incorrect. Because these creatures are not flies or bugs or worms, they are beetles. And I don't mean that they came from Liverpool and wrote songs about love and walruses.
I mean that they belong to the same subgroup as ladybugs, or as we call them in Britain, ladybirds. Likewise, these are neither bugs nor birds, but also beetles, and occasionally America's first lady.
And finally, I thought I'd take you outside into my backyard and show you my own congregation of fireflies. And I thought I'd whisper so that we don't scare them. I suppose they're not really frightened by that, are they? I'm really doing it because David Attenborough does it. I've set up here because I had seen fireflies flying around that stake in the ground, which must mean that they have a stake in the ground. That joke made no sense. And so far, since I've set up my camera, I haven't seen a single firefly. And so at this point, I thought the best way to remedy that would be to grab my camera phone and go for a little wander. Sometimes see lightning bugs just flashing around these trees, which is sort of the lightning bug equivalent of doing it behind the bike sheds. But tonight, no such luck. Oh, there's one. Oh, did you see it? Did you see it?
Woo!
Even so, that fleeting grainy footage didn't seem like it would be enough to satisfy my wonderful subscribers.
Yeah,
And
I'm
Uncle
not
Toby.
satisfied.
With all hope seemingly lost and my desire for a cheeseburger growing stronger by the second, I was about to give up when I saw a bright flash on the other side of the garden.
I found one right there. Just hanging out.
I can't.
if it's
Okay,
nervous.
that is it. That is it.
Because it's not flashing at me.
But it's not.
Oh,
Oh!
did you see that? Did you see that?
I saw that.
Thank you, little friend. Thank you for providing me with box office footage.
Wow, look at that.
If
Damn.
it wasn't true before tonight, the events of this video have firmly cemented America's common eastern firefly as my absolute favourite of all Beatles, and that includes George Harrison.
If you ever have a bad day, if you ever find yourself stuck in a rut, if you just need something to remind you that occasionally this world is a majestic and surprising place, go outside on a warm summer's evening and find yourself one of these.
Watch it up close for 10 minutes. And every time that it lights up, think to yourself again and again how profoundly insane it is that it does that. And then remember that deep down you have that power too. Because I've no idea where I'm going with this. I was just going to say something about finding the light within inside themselves, but I mean, they are subscribed to my channel, so there's honestly no hope for them. That said, if you happen to live in a part of the world that isn't a hotspot for firefly hookups, but would still
Unfortunately, we don't have firefly hookups in my country. We don't even have fireflies here. So, we do have other animals that hook up a lot. And if I want to be viewing from hookups, I have no issues with that, I guess. What am I ever saying? Oh, man.
like to get inspired, I recommend re-watching this video from now until the end of time. In the meantime, that's it for this video. I'm Lawrence Brown. You can follow...
That was a fun video. That was a really fun video. I really love that. I actually like this. If I were... Do they bite? That's the first thing I have to find out first, because every time I hear fireflies, I'm always thinking of what's the other animal that used to bite that rhymes with firefly? Forgotten that. What is that insect's name? I've forgotten, guys. Maybe I'll browse it later. Is it fire hornets? Something like that. Fire hornets or red hornets. Man, whatever. As long as they don't bite, if I had this kind of insects in my backyard, I'll be hanging out there with them all the time and looking at them while they're planning, while they're being horny and looking for a mate. That would be fun. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.